As you must know, the last version of this kind of program, named Siete Pasos Elliott Wave Tool, it used key arrows to start the waves. Here in the Elliott Wave Assistants, the new generation of this kind of programs, we use what I called a dynamic selection of reference in the chart. You press, as with the other program, the button, the biggest button, to set you want to start or add a new wave into your count. In this program, as you can see, set start word is placed under your mouse and will be following you wherever you move the mouse. This is because you are about to express where is the starting point of your wave you want to count. When you move the mouse, as you can see, a red line will appear in the screen showing you what is the bar that is making the reference point. At this time, for example, I want to place it with this bar as the starting point, and I have to choose above the bar or below the bar to set the starting point. Once clicked, if I click on the present bar, the point will be the bottom of that bar, or above the bar, the point will be the top of that bar. In this case, I want to make a count for a wave counting up, so I'm going to press below the bar. When you define the starting point, the next thing that will happen, if you don't have any other wave labeled in this pattern, the first wave will appear. In this case is the number 1 to set where is the first wave. You must think up to this point in the first wave. It doesn't matter if it should be A or should be W or should be 1, is the first wave you want to point, and you select the place. For example, I want to count this as an impulse, so I think the first movement ends here, and the reference point will be, as well in the last starting point, will be or the top of the bar or the bottom of the bar. In this case, I want to make it the top of the bar, so I should be over the bar. And the cosmetic point where the label will be placed is decided by the height that I give to my label, or the separation I give the label from the top of the line, to avoid be overlapped with the bar itself, the label. I place it in a proper distance, press it, and I have the first point. As you can see, the distances between the starting of my wave and the end of my wave to calculate the retracement are exactly the bottom of the bar where I placed the start and the top of the bar where I placed the end of my first wave, and the point where the label is placed have no relation in the height with the ending point of my wave. This is how I get a more accurate way to count it. For the next wave, for example, if I want to make this wave the second wave here, I just press the next wave in my tool and place it again, or at the top of the bar if I place above the bar, or the bottom of the bar if I place in the bottom side of the bar. The distance is not relevant for the calculations, but is relevant for the cosmetic purposes of the placing the label of the wave. So let's place it here on a proper distance, and as you can see, even when I place the label down here, the reference point is exactly the bottom of the bar. For the next wave, I want to make an sub 1 wave account. I just change I I said I want to label a new wave pressing this button below the big one, and a number 1 appears again. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have the exactly degree that I need. I just place it again, referring my starting point. I try to place my starting point without touching the wave, because this should select the previous wave. So I place it below or in the middle, but not over other labels. And set here the starting point of my new wave I want to counting. I want to make the count with this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a new wave. I place it above the ending point of my first wave, and then when I place it in my new wave, I change the proper degree by pressing the plus or minus symbols in my assistant. For example, here 1. If I want to lower this 1 more degree, I have to press it again to reselect it, because when you change the degree or the color of a wave, automatically change the color but unselect the entire wave. So I retouch it again to make it selected. You know that a wave is selected because the reference points illustrating the position, just the position, not exactly end or the exactly point, is showed with these points, and change in the proper numbers again. For example, if I want to count in the second wave, I select it and then press the number 2. And this is how you make the count of a new wave. I'm going to try again giving an alternative count, saying this will be the A, B, C of the second wave. So I want to count a new wave. So again, I press the new wave button. I start a new wave, placing above the starting point, because I'm going to count a wave down. And the first wave, that should be A, but I don't care now. I just want to say this is my first wave. I press it at the right position and place, and now I can change, while selected the wave, the degree and the pattern. For example, here I want to say it is for example, I want to say if this is a zigzag, I want to say this is the zigzag pattern, right? I select it again. I want to say this should be an alternative count, so I select a different color, and I say this should be 1 degree lower, so I press again the minus button. So I have a new wave, and now I can place or assess if this pattern is okay. For example, I see here the retracement is too big for the normally observed while doing a zigzag B wave, so I can change or the pattern, or I can delete the pattern, or whatever decision I want to make. For example, I can say this perhaps is an expanded flat, and we are in the process. If I touch again, the projections are for the expanded flat, and said, well, perhaps the B wave must be above here. Hope this helped you to better understand how to place labels in the chart using the Elliott Wave Assistant.